Yippee-yi-yi, Hello, my fellow readers. My name is Greg, and this is Ghost Readers in the Sky. I'm here with another episode of Victorian poetry to celebrate the Victober event. Today I have another one from Robert Louis Stevenson. This comes from the collection that I have of A Child's Garden of Verses, which has a lot of other poems as well. This is a Sears Juvenile Classic volume, and the poem we're going to hear today is Heather Ale. This is a poem based on a folk story about an Irish king who comes to Scotland and attacks and kills all the Picts. That's what we're going to hear today, is the story of some of the last surviving Picts and the hunt for Heather Ale. Heather Ale, a Galloway legend, by Robert Louis Stevenson. From the bonny bells of heather, they brewed a drink long syne, was sweeter far than honey, and stronger far than wine. They brewed it, and they drank it, and they lay in blessed swound for days and days together in their dwellings underground. There rose a king in Scotland, a foul man to his foes. He smote the Picts in battle and hunted them like roes. Over miles of the Red Mountain he hunted as they fled, and strewed their dwarfish bodies of the dying and the dead. Summer came in the country. Red was the heather bell, but the manner of the brewing was none alive to tell. In graves that were like children's on many a mountain head, the brewsters of the heather lay numbered with the dead. The king in the red moorland rode out on summer's day, and the bees hummed and the curlews cried beside the way. The king rode and was angry. Black was his brow and pale, to rule a land of heather and lack the heather ale. It fortuned that his vassals, riding free on the heath, came on a stone that was fallen and vermin hid beneath. Rudely plucked from their hiding, never a word they spoke, a son and his aged father, last of the dwarfish folk. The king sat high on his charger. He looked on the little man, and the dwarfish and swarthy couple looked at the king again. Down by the shore he had them, and there on the giddy brink, I will give you life, ye vermin, for the secret of the drink. There stood their son and father. They looked high and low. The heather was red around them, and the sea rumbled below. And up and spoke the father. Shrill was his voice to hear. I have a word in private, a word for the royal ear. Life is dear to the aged, and honor a little thing. I would gladly sell the secret, quoth the Pict to the king. His voice was small as a sparrow's, and shrill and wonderful clear. I would gladly sell my secret, only my son I fear. For life is a little matter, and death is not to the young. And I dare not sell my honor under the eye of my son. Take him, O king, and bind him, and cast him far in the deep, and its eye will tell the secret that I have sworn to keep. They took the son and bound him, neck and heels in a thong, and a lad took him and swung him and flung him far and strong, and the sea swallowed the body like that of a child of 10. And there on the cliff stood the father, last of the dwarfish men. True was the word I told you, only my son I feared, for I doubt the sapling courage that goes without the beard. But now in vain is the torture, fire shall never avail. Here dies in my bosom the secret of the heather ale. Yeah, a really fine poem by Robert Louis Stevenson. He did a lot of work with folklore and stories of Scotland, which is part of what makes novels like Kidnapped so great. It's all based on true events, even though he has fictional characters. But I hope you have a chance to read some Victorian literature, perhaps some Robert Louis Stevenson, perhaps some of his poetry. But whatever you're doing, I hope you're enjoying this month of reading. Till next time, thank you so much for watching. My name is Greg, and this is Ghost Readers in the Sky.